Fun fact, if you wear glasses, get you a pair that has the anti-reflective coating. It's not as severe because I have these for video. Then I have other glasses that are just for my regular wear. So these are work glasses, whereas these are not. It makes a difference in your content and it makes it less distracting. All right, so just finished doing the live for the Video Simplified podcast. Should be episode 95, 96. I think it's 95. So a couple things went very well. A couple of things went terrible in the sense of like what I have standards for, in the sense of like I have to plan, which I didn't intentionally do, but just the timing where the conversation was, and I can see the lives going longer than like a pre-recorded one where it's like a dedicated 20-30 minutes. What I would say I didn't love was the fact that, number one, I did not queue up the end of the live stream to account for what if I don't want to do a gear fix, which was like this week's episode. Because I didn't want to do that, it went to the next scene instead of going to the end video, because I'm like, why the video ain't playing? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I hit that at the end, but I'll fix it for next time. And it's like one of those things where you have to accept, like I was talking about, like, it's so funny. You have to accept the successes and the failures before, like the wins and the losses, before you can, like, rightly, I believe, understand the full scope of what success means. Like those little flips, and I say it's like terrible only because I thought about it and I thought, oh, I probably won't not do one. I'll probably always include one, but I did. But that's just part of the thing. And then the other thing that was interesting was like I ended the live stream the first time when I should have went, and again, so there's a couple mistakes in there that are fixable mistakes, and I don't like making those kind of errors just because it's fixable. And so now what I'm gonna do is I never complain about like, oh, and then I can never get over it. So what I'll do here is like the end of the thing, and I think I want to rearrange the buttons as well. The end of the show, like the way I have this set up is perfect, but instead of it going to the next scene, it needs to go to the specific scene where it's the end of the podcast over here. So end of the podcast. So I'm going to put that in here. This is why I love using the Loop Deck Live and Ecamm Live combination. It is so smart end of podcast. Whereas like on something else, I might have to completely redo or maybe rehire somebody to do something. Like I don't have to do any of that. It literally is a 1-2 button click. And then for the next one, for the intro, because I can foresee that being an issue, if it's the same thing, then I can take out to go to the next scene here and specifically go to the VSP. No, it should be the VSP intro video. Because now, once I re-put in the specific scene, which I forgot to do when I was making these, I put it in for the next scene, figured it'd be fine. But now, even though I have like my buttons based on the show flow, and I'm probably going to move the ones to close, and if I have a guest, because I don't think I'm going to be doing that often, and then I can rearrange some stuff there. Now that makes sense. That went so much better. Now that I have this, I have the next week's episode. I don't know how I feel about recording on Sundays, simply because I don't know. I know I probably won't feel like doing too much on Sundays, and it is our day of rest. It's something I needed to do today in the midst of all the other work that we have to do for the week. And to get some stuff caught up, I'm like, it just makes sense to do this live. I don't mind the live engagement and the stuff like that. I just have to account for it so it's not a consistent and reoccurring thing where if you've listened to podcast episodes where it's live, they talk for 1 minute, go to the comments for 15, and then they go and talk for another minute, go to the comments for 15, unless it's literally like the engagement for that. And what is the real meat of the content is maybe like 15 minutes or something. And it's just my personal preference of wanting meat and potatoes up front. And then you can stay for the latter half if you choose to. My thing is that I would never choose to do it that way because I don't want to listen to it that way. I want to still account for the listening experience. Same reason I schedule my live shows on the Friday live shows. Same way I do it that way is because it made sense to switch it up. One of the main questions that I posed during the podcast today was one by Amy Landino. Well, Amy Landino shared it. It was by Tim Ferriss, which says, how am I complicit in creating the conditions that I say I don't want? How am I complicit in creating the conditions that I say I don't want? I think everyone can admit to things that are happening in a season of life that they don't want, or happening in a way that they don't want. Everyone can say that something is wrong or something's changed. And sometimes it could be a change in the algorithm. Sometimes it could be, a change in thumbnail style or whatever. It could be a lot of different things. But the simpler question to ask, and the one that better puts you in a position of power versus like assigning some accusatory blame, is how am I being complicit in causing these things to happen that I'm saying that I don't want? And that is a question that is extremely powerful. And I think if we asked ourselves that more in the seasons of suck, not only would we potentially get out of those seasons faster, but we will be able to approach situations easier with a better spirit, with a better mindset than what we already currently are, taking a different mindset and approach. Because you see, I could take the thoughts and the feelings, like I don't even feel any frustrations about the little flubs. I say I hate it because I could fix it, but I don't even feel any like true frustration, true hate, anything like that around not setting up the keystrokes to be exactly right. If I took the mindset, like if I did feel some kind of way about it, or if I was just like, oh, it blew it or whatever. Let's say you landed the big client and something went wrong and you're feeling like I blew it or missed the moment or the opportunity or the whatever. Ask yourself, how am I being complicit in causing the things that I say I don't want? Interesting perspective. If you have thoughts on this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. But I think this is something that is best posed internally and best processed slowly and like in a written dialogue. How am I being complicit? Makes you think. One of the things I've been working on since the last vlog has been a lot. We've recorded quite a lot of content. We've changed our systems. We've launched a course on the building a team course. We are diving deeper into building a membership community. We have a daily podcast. It's Monday through Saturday. Sometimes it's not a morning show. Sometimes it's an afternoon show. And on Saturdays, it's just still up in the air if I just want it to be a Monday through Friday podcast. Then we have the Video Simplified podcast that I'm now starting to do live on Sunday evenings because it comes out on Monday. Don't know how I feel about that. And we're relaunching the Friday Live Helpcast, which I'm very excited about. And as if all of that was not enough, Sony literally released the camera that I have been dreaming of, literally dreaming of. I cannot express my sincere excitement. And I literally made a video that was going to be kind of egging them on, like, I know, I'd probably never make this camera. Matter of fact, I don't care who makes this camera. Actually, I do. I want it to be Sony. And it's going to be an APS-C camera. And these are going to be Bees Knees Hall of Fame things that you'll probably never add to a camera within the next 1 or 2 years. Little did I know, they had already been working on it. And I could be more happier, grateful, thankful, excited. It was just a fantastic day. And the more work that we as a team and as a company put into helping entrepreneurs simplify the video creation process to reach wider, connect deeper with the people that need them the most, because I believe video is the best way of all the mediums and forms of communication, is the best way to communicate with your audience. There's still some goals and things that, yes, with the cameras that are already out there, like the Sony a7S Mark III or the Sony FX3, which is what I was kind of leaning towards. But I wanted something that was in that ZV-E10 body style. And an APS-C camera is just what I personally like, love, enjoy, prefer. And they made the camera. I feel like I've won the Super Bowl. Now, what this brings up for a lot of creators is usually what I've found to be true is that whatever I'm recommending, talking about, the audience usually buys some of that, or most of them tend to see the need of that new piece of equipment, also meeting their needs, wants, expectations, and the like. But I wonder how much that's true with the Sony FX30, because this is just my perfect dream camera. Could it be for others in the community? Sure. But one thing I will always encourage people to do is don't buy based on just what you see other people getting, or they say this is the latest and greatest, because it's not about keeping up with the Joneses. It's really just about what's going to best fit your needs and serve your needs for your business, your brand, and your vision using video. And this has become extremely frustrating as I get into educating more entrepreneurs on getting what is going to work best for them, just not what's talked about on YouTube. And I get it, in some ways it's counterproductive to us being a tech-based and camera-based channel, but I always will put honesty and the needs of the person that's asking what should they get, what should they buy, or what's the best camera for where they're starting from. I will always put that above some affiliate income or something like that. Like, that's always been my thing, being completely honest. But I just know a lot of people are going to try to get this camera and they shouldn't. But I know for me, it's my perfect camera and I cannot freaking wait to get my hands on it. It's a lot of amazing things come down the pipeline. A lot of amazing things come down the pipeline. Good morning, entrepreneurs. It is Tuesday, October the 4th, 2022. I hope you're having a fantastic morning and a great start to your day. But again, that's what I'm leaving for this episode of the Entre Chats Daily Morning Show. See you tomorrow on the next episode. And as I love to end all of these, the winds of life blows on us all, but it's how you set your sails. So set your sails accordingly. Have an awesome day.